Picture this: Britain bracing for a balmy November where London might actually outwarm Istanbul. Talk about a weather plot twist that's got everyone rethinking their winter wardrobes. As residents of the UK prepare for an unexpectedly cozy stretch of days ahead, the Met Office is forecasting temperatures that are far milder than usual for this autumn season. But here's where it gets intriguing. Is this just a fleeting anomaly or a glimpse into broader shifts in our climate? Let's dive into the details and unpack what this means for everyday life. According to the UK's trusted weather authority, the Met Office, we're in for a series of warm spells this week that defy the typical chill of November. They describe the conditions as unseasonably mild, which, for beginners in weather lingo, simply means the temperatures are higher than what's normally expected at this time of year. Think of it as Mother Nature throwing a curveball into our expectations of cold fronts and frost. The forecast highlights that highs will reach their peak on Wednesday, with eastern England potentially hitting a surprising 18 degrees Celsius. To put that in perspective, imagine a day that feels more like a late September afternoon than mid-autumn. For context, the average maximum temperature in November for southern England usually hovers around 11 degrees Celsius, so this is a notable jump, almost like swapping winter jackets for lighter layers overnight. Zooming in on the capital, London could see temperatures climbing to 17 degrees Celsius as early as Thursday. Interestingly, that's warmer than Istanbul, which is predicted to be at 16 degrees Celsius, or Madrid at 14 degrees Celsius. It's a fascinating comparison that underscores how regional weather patterns can vary wildly, even across continents. For those unfamiliar with Celsius, remember it's the metric scale where water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius and boils at 100 degrees Celsius, so 17 degrees Celsius is comfortably mild, akin to a pleasant spring day in many places. A Met Office spokesperson elaborated that temperatures will be broadly above average across the UK through this week, with a return to around average levels by next weekend. Breaking it down further, southern England can anticipate 17 degrees Celsius on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, dipping slightly to 16 degrees Celsius on Friday before easing into the weekend. Even overnight, things stay surprisingly balmy. On Wednesday night, lows might only drop to 14 degrees Celsius in some southern spots, while rural areas in Scotland and Wales could see milder conditions down to about 6 degrees Celsius. This overnight warmth is the kind of detail that weather enthusiasts love, as it means less need for extra blankets and more opportunities for evening strolls. The Met Office took to social media to quip, "If you hauled out the big coat over the weekend, you might want to stash it away again. Mild air has made a comeback." They pointed out that temperatures across the board are several degrees warmer than they were at this time last Sunday, illustrating how quickly weather can flip. And this is the part most people miss. Such shifts aren't just numbers on a screen. They can influence everything from energy bills, less heating needed, to outdoor activities, more picnics, anyone? However, with warmth comes a caveat. Rain is on the horizon. Despite the balmy vibes, the forecaster has issued a yellow weather warning for Tuesday, anticipating further persistent and at times heavy rain, following Monday's downpours, which were intense in some areas. This isn't just a drizzle. It could disrupt travel, with potential delays for buses and trains, and even lead to flooding in homes and businesses. Roads might suffer from spray and water buildup, making driving trickier. To help beginners navigate this, think of a yellow warning as a heads-up alert, not the highest level of caution, but enough to prompt preparation. The Met Office strongly recommends staying safe by checking local flood advisories and evaluating if your property is vulnerable to water damage. They provide handy criteria on their website for assessing risks and suggest creating a flood plan and emergency kit, things like sandbags, batteries, and essential supplies. If you're out driving, it's wise to slow down, stick to main roads, keep headlights on dipped, and maintain a generous gap between vehicles to handle slippery conditions. When parking, aim to avoid flood-prone zones to protect your car. But here's where it gets controversial. Are these unseasonably warm spells a harmless quirk or a red flag signaling deeper climate change impacts? Some experts argue that such anomalies are becoming more frequent due to global warming, potentially leading to more erratic weather patterns. Others might counter that it's just natural variability in the atmosphere. What do you think? Is this warmth something to celebrate for its comfort, or worry about for the instability it might herald? Could this be a sign that we're underestimating how climate shifts are reshaping our seasons? Share your views in the comments. Do you agree that weather like this is a wake-up call, or disagree that it's anything more than a lucky break? We'd love to hear your take and spark a conversation on how we're adapting to these changes.